Okay. Hi. All right, so I'm going to show how to do the triangles. Here, actually, let me flip this shebang over here. So I have done, this has been accordion folded, and this point right here is the top center. And so the whole shawl has been folded in half lengthwise, then in half widthwise, and then that's that center point. And then I accordion folded it over a couple of times to get to here. And so I start folding those triangles. Get this little pressed a bit more here. New to me iron. Get that cord out of the way there. Can you tell I'm not used to doing videos? Okay, so the very first triangle is always the trickiest one. And I've got these little clips on here. These clips are quilters clips, and they're used for putting layers together. And they're really handy for keeping all of the folded layers stuck together as you're doing all of this. Okay, so the first fold is actually a half of a triangle, and I find that sometimes I don't worry about getting that one right off the bat, because then I'm gonna fold, so I fold that over the top, and it's gonna be going back and forth, laying down these triangles. So you're gonna lay one up, and then you're gonna lay one down, and then you're gonna lay one up, and then you're gonna lay one down. I hope that made sense. So you got this first little corner, it's like a half a triangle here, and then this one, so this corner here is gonna come underneath and up to this edge over here. So I fold it under, and that point is coming up over to here. And that helps me figure out where I'm at for my angles. So I've got my little extra doohickey here. So now I'm going to come back across here. And so this corner here is coming back over to this edge. And once you get those first two down, take those clips off, that helps you see your equilateral triangle. And so, you know, I started off doing this with a template, and I find I don't need to use that template anymore, because the width of the fabric as you take it across helps you get that angle. So once you have those first two down, this point, you want to get that up to here, and you'll find that once you get these edges evened up, the rest of it kind of works itself out. So then I can bring this back across here, and there's my equilateral triangle. So now I'm going to press that. It's getting the first one down that's the trickiest part. And that's when, you know, when I was first starting this, I found having the little template was helpful in just figuring out my placement for coming across. And so then I'm going to take this back under here. So this point here is coming underneath to this edge here. So it comes across and back up to that edge. So one side goes under, and then this top corner here comes down to this hem. Then this corner here goes under to that hem, and then this corner here comes over to here. That's probably the easiest way to explain that. Okay, so I'm gonna get those corners kind of sharpened up there, and then I'm gonna press it. And then at a certain point, let me get my little clips out of the way here. At a certain point, you'll find that this starts to get kind of cumbersome to be flipping your little stack back and forth. And when that happens, let me get this one ironed here, then I start working from the back side and flipping the tail end back and forth. And you know, I've tried things like you can use one of these clips to try to hold your stacks together. Maybe. There we go. These are kind of small for that. I've tried holding them together with rubber bands. The rayon is really slippery, and so honestly, I just try to hold it together. And you can straighten up your stack at the end and kind of sharpen it up. So I'm going to flip this. So now I can take this tail end, and now the tail end is going to go over and then over and then over. So it'll flip first. So I've got the stack here. It's going to be this edge here, that angle, and so I'm going to flip it for that angle. And this is why I'm so glad to have those clips there to hold that stack together. There we go. So I have that one. I'll iron it. Still figuring out this iron. Doesn't get quite as hot as my old one. Okay, so that came across this way. Chunk. So now I'm going to take it back across that way. So it's going to go there. So it came here, and it's going to go there. So you kind of make your way around the triangle angles, but it's with going back and forth, flipping back and forth. I hope the way I'm talking isn't making this more confusing. So now I'm coming across like that. And I take my little clip out of the way. And now I've got my stack here, so I'm going to come across this way. Kind of wish I had a camera angle so I could have it up above. Let me see. This is probably going to end up like dropping the camera or something crazy. Is that on it? Oh, it's going over. Oh, hey, look at that. I've got a light. Oh, is that helpful? Okay. The sound effect was important. Okay, so I've got this out here. So I'm going to take this clip off so it's not in the way. So this is the angle I want to match here. So I'm going to take this stack across the top. And then I'm going to iron it. And try not to burn my fingers. Did it shut itself off? Oh, no irons. Okay, and now, don't move it out of the camera here. Okay, and now it's this angle I want to match. So I'm going to take it across that way. Just like that. Am I out of the camera angle here? No, I'm sort of. There we go. across this way. And then up that way. And I'm almost done here. So I'm gonna kind of I'm just gonna do 2 folds and then iron. There we go. And then that fold and that fold. And across this way. And then the last little bit here. And then I just take all of my fringe and I pile it up underneath, because the fringe end is what I put on the bottom. But you know, you do you. Whatever you think will be fun. So then I tuck all of that up there. And then you can see my little stack there. And then I have to get this top straightened out here. Get that angle straightened out there. Okay, and the way I set my rubber bands, I'm sorry if I keep going out of the camera angle here, is I come across one end and I bring it around and I lay it across the top. And I can get my tips all lined up there. And I often try to kind of get that corner held down with the rubber band there. And then I lay one going across the center of one side over to the tip on the other side. So I have 3 going across, crossing in the middle. And then when I lay my die on, I lay it on this top side. And like if I want to maximize the splits and have a little fun with it, I'll leave the corners white. But I've also done it where I've laid the die like on 2 corners in the center and over here. I mean, the possibilities are really endless. Like, or you could go crazy and like lay die on a side like this and let it sink through the stack that way. And there are so many things you could do with this. I am curious to see what other people do. Thanks.